Bring the action.
Welcome back to the Moll Anderson Show. Well, I don't want to waste any time with this guest because he went from being a pastry chef in Las Vegas to a bodybuilder. That's right. I am so excited for him to share his story with us. It's quite inspirational. Chef Phillip Dell, thank you so much for coming on my show.
It's my pleasure. This is awesome.
Well, recently you just won Chopped competition on the Food Network. Tell us what the Cook Your Butt Off episode was.
Well, it had everything to do with 4 chefs that were obese or very overweight previously, and we all went through astonishing transformation stories, and I was one of them.
Wow. Well, tell us about this transformation. I mean, you've made an amazing body transformation in just 1 year. Tell us how you did it.
Well, first of all, I was unofficially about 220 pounds or so, and I went down to 127 pounds.
Wow.
I had a 36 to 40% body fat, and when I stepped on stage on my 30th birthday, I had a 5% body fat with a 28-inch waist.
5%? Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't live that way every day, but it's how we get ready for bodybuilding competitions.
Oh, my gosh.
And
that's intense.
It's definitely intense, but it takes a lot of dedication. And part of the thing for me is I woke up one morning and saw myself in the mirror and just felt really disgusted with how I looked and changed my complete lifestyle right then and there. No more refined carbohydrates. I just cleaned up my diet completely, stopped drinking all the sodas and having refined carbohydrates, eating whole pizzas. And I'm talking about 1 or 2 whole large pizzas.
Wow.
Decided to make a different outlook in my life, and that's what it did. And I started off small, So after I got to 10 pounds, I went to 20, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get to 30. I'm going to buy myself a suit. I got to 30 pounds, and I'm like, I'm not done yet. This is awesome. I feel great. My energy levels were skyrocketing, and I just kept going. And I lost 50 pounds simply by changing my diet. And a friend of mine literally tricked me into going to the gym. And, I grew up kind of obese, though. I was overweight my whole life, and for the most part. And I kind of made fun of people like me now, and and all those people that went to the gym and kind of looked big and buff. And so I kind of told my friend that day, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go. I'm not ready for that. I don't belong there. And he's like, everybody belongs there. So we went out, and that's what he told me. We're just going to go out. And we ended up going to the gym. And within a half hour, I was signed up, and I got hooked. And
that's awesome.
During that time, I lost a total of 92 pounds, roughly, and got into natural bodybuilding.
Wow. Well, listen, if you're just joining us, I am visiting here with Chef Phillip Dell, who has an amazing inspirational story. And Phillip, I want to ask you, you were a pastry chef. A pastry chef. That would be like, an alcoholic in a liquor store, right? I would be just like, if I wasn't making pastry every day, I would have weighed 220 pounds. I love pastry.
I have an extremely large sweet tooth, and a lot of my friends don't. They're still pastry chefs, and which is good for them. Mm-hmm. But I, on the other hand, could sit down and could eat an entire bowl of cookie dough. I wanted to be in a healthier state of mind, so I just got my mind that way, and nothing was going to stop me.
So how do you deal now with a dessert that's laid in front of you? Do you?
For the most.
I'm sorry. No, I was just going to ask because you love pastry. You made pastry. You have a sweet tooth. My husband has an incredible sweet tooth. He just happens to be a workoutaholic, so it works for him. Do you suggest that maybe you just take a bite, enjoy that bite? That's what I've been doing lately, trying to watch my weight. Or do you just say, I'm sorry, I can't have any more?
You hit it right on the head when you said that it's like an alcoholic. If I have that one bite, I'm going to go overboard. I might go overboard for 2-3 hours and be okay after that. But it's that I don't even want to do that sometimes. So now I use it more as a reward and of being dedicated all week or whatever. And then at one meal a week, I have whatever I want.
And what is that? What is that one go-to that you want? And do you make it?
Well, I used to make it because I transform everything that I eat to a healthier version without removing any flavor. Oh. And I actually came up with an amazing protein cookie dough. And I use a specific company, and I hope it's okay to say it, but
Sure.
Baby Court Nutrition makes one called white chocolate. And although it's very sweet and it gives an amazing flavor, and I combine that with another one that, when combined with a couple other ingredients, makes an amazing flavored cookie dough. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because it's really not a cookie, but it settles that craving for me.
Wow. Well, you got all of our attention here. My producer, Susanna, her ears perked up. We both looked at each other like, keep talking.
And I eat that. I'm not kidding you. I eat that every single day. And the reason why I eat that every single day is because it hits exactly. I can use that as a meal completely. It has 22 to 24 grams of protein in it. It has only 5 grams of carbohydrate, and it's sugar-free. And so it's perfect for me, and it settles my craving. Now, when I do want to have that real dessert, I will literally just have that dessert. My wife's birthday was yesterday, and we like to enjoy, so we made cookie dough.
So you made cookie dough?
We made cookie dough, and I enjoyed it. But other than that, it's I've kind of gotten to the point now where if I'm going to splurge, I just want to splurge. I just want to get it over with. And because I know if I make it myself, I will transform it. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Got it. Well, if you're just joining me, I'm speaking with Chef Phillip Dell. Now, summer's just about to kick off here. We've got the 4th of July coming ahead. And instead of the usual fatty food choices, can you help us figure out a great party menu that will leave us wanting to still put our bathing suits on?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody always has, everybody's aware of burgers and dogs and brats and that sort of thing. And I'm from the Midwest, so we do that a lot back there. And but one thing that I thought would be kind of fun is, kind of make themes out of your parties. And I know 4th of July is one theme, and Americana goes with the burger and dog thing. But what about doing like a grilled chicken satay with like peanut sauce? Or and then to go with that, a cool sesame Asian noodle salad with a multi-grain pasta, vibrant colored vegetables such as sweet bell peppers, julienne, snow peas, carrots, scallions. And then for dessert, of course, you can have a little splurge if you want, or you could go with like a grilled fruit kebab and I like to make something that I like to call a cheesecake dressing. And it's literally like making cheesecake batter, except you're not using full of fat cream cheeses. You're using low fat or no fat. You're using natural sugars, or if you're into sugar substitutes, that's a great place to put those. And you just drizzle it over the top, and it's literally like having cheesecake, but yet it's guilt-free.
Wow.
Or another one that I just simply made for a class that I taught yesterday is we made peach crisp. And instead of using butters and stuff, we use unsaturated fats like canola oil, or even like I guess they're margarines, but they're more unsaturated fats, and I use nut oils and stuff like that instead.
Wow.
And instead of using white flours, we used whole wheat flours, we use oat flours, brown rice flours. These are all very good, especially for gluten-free people.
Right.
They could totally make that dessert and not have to worry about, they don't have to use oat or wheat flour. They could use oats, or they could use the brown rice flour to stick in the sauce.
Now, let me ask you this, because when I know all my male listeners right now, when they hear whole wheat or brown or any of those things with flours and whatnot, is there a big difference in the taste?
All it does, especially for no. Let me answer it first that way.
Okay.
There's really not that big of a difference. And the reason why I like to use it, I was telling this in the class yesterday, especially for the topping, it gives you that, everybody, at least I do, loves the crispy topping that's on top of a crisp.
Oh, I do. That's my favorite part.
Using those flours actually gives you more of that flavor, like that crunch, that heartiness that you're looking for. I was doing a benefit, and I made a tartlet, and the crust had whole wheat flour. It was pastry flour. And the gentleman that was with me told me how much he hated wheat flour. And I had him taste it, and he didn't even know the difference.
Well, now, you just mentioned school. Let's talk about the Sin City Chef School you have.
Well, Sin City Chefs is more than just a school. It's also a private chef company. Basically, if it has to do with food, we'll do it. We do menu and meal plans for people. We cook for them daily, monthly, weekly. And we do a lot of classes. We're getting to the point where a lot of people are actually going back into the kitchen, which is great, because I grew up where my mom was always cooking, or I was always cooking with my mom, etc. And we're getting back into that, which is fabulous. But people just don't know how to do it. And so Sin City Chefs will go into the person's home. Everything's always done on a personal level. So if somebody's looking for a gluten-free diet and they want to learn how to cook it, we'll go ahead and show them how to do that. We'll take them into the store and show them how to shop for it, and then bring it back to their place and make it for them, with them. They can have guests with them, by themselves, or they can do it in a group. We do a lot of team buildings that way. I just did a large group from all over the world, in fact, that's staying in Vegas for a convention. And they heard about my theories, and so we transformed a bunch of foods from their unhealthier versions to healthier versions without removing any flavor.
That's awesome. Now, how do all my listeners find your school? Do you have a website?
SinCityChef.com.
SinCityChefs.com. It's pretty simple. Now, Chef Phillip, I think that it sounds like there's going to be a cookbook in your future.
Most definitely.
How long are you going to make us wait?
Well, we're in the middle of it at the moment, and it's becoming quite pressing, as a matter of fact. Everybody's kind of really getting on me about it. So,
I'm going to get on you about it now. Get after yourself and write that book so you can come back and tell us all about it.
I would love to do that.
Thanks so much, Chef Dell.